Alright guys, we're back. Sorry about that delay. Cloud Crusaders going to be facing off against Noble Esports. Going into this week, Noble Esports had a pretty good showing early on in the first 5 weeks. A little bit of a bumpy road, and then came back big in the final week to lock themselves in a spot. You know, last week in the round robins, however, went out 0-3. Cloud Crusaders sitting first place in the group, 3-0. So this is an important one. If Noble Esports do not win this game, their hopes at making it to the grand finals will be all but gone. So, with that said, it's going to be Cloud Crusaders versus Noble Esports in what could be the, I don't say premier, most important, but it's going to be a big one. It should be a good game as well.
Yeah, Cloud Crusaders, Noble, very, very good teams. You got to remember that Noble was able to take out Hi-Fi, beat them twice in a grand final of the first 5 weeks of Challenger Cup. First and last ones, they both won, pretty sure. Well, they made the grand final, both of them. They definitely won the last week from the side of Noble, so, you know, they're a high-level team. They can pull off the plays. They just had a lot of inconsistency last team. They've got to settle it. They've got to settle down. They've got to play their hearts out this game, because it's all or nothing on this one.
We're going to run through these rosters as well while we have a chance, because we didn't have picks and bans for this game. Cloud Crusaders, left-hand side of Spectre, wearing the blue chunks, defending the Titan of Order. We have Spectre in the soul lane as Sun Wukong. Is that a support? Where the heck is he? I'm looking at the wrong team. I'm confused. I'm looking at the red team. Where is he on the mini-map? Let's try this again. Spectre in the soul lane as Sun Wukong. Puka Bear in the jungle as Awilix. Too Many Apples mid lane as Agni. Collateral playing to support Sylvanus. And finally, Xenotronics playing the Hunter Neith.
Yeah, and then coming at us from the side of Noble Esports, it's going to be Cyper in the solo lane on the Odin. In the jungle, it's going to be Just playing the Thor. BK Haste is going to be in the mid lane on the Isis. At support, it's going to be Junipera on the Sobek. And finally, Hunter Lu is going to be playing Meduisa.
I knew something was off with the game. I had Junie and Cyper switched. I knew something was off, and it got me confused. It's not my fault. This game's fault.
Keep in mind as well that Junipera is one of the only girls I think that I've ever seen make it successfully across multiple esports and at least be competing at the top level. She's got some fantastic block, and the combo with Lu, they just need some synergy coming in for this duo lane coming through from Noble Esports, and they will be a lane to be reckoned with. Yeah,
Junie has a very unique, aggressive kind of playstyle as well. One of the few players I think I've seen, period, actually use the rollout aggressively in Conquest. You see it in like arena matches. You see the person like, oh, I'm going to stand behind a wall for 2 minutes and then try and punch somebody, and oh, I missed, darn it. Junie is constantly, I'm going to hide behind the wall, get my speed up, and try to punch you back, and basically pretend I'm Sylvanus even though I am not. On Sobek this time around, so I won't actually have the luxury of that Geb. However, Sobek, Charge Prey, is also a way to pull somebody back in towards your team, so the option's still there.
And we saw a really, really good combo from Lu as well, able to immediately lacerate where Junie threw somebody over the shoulder as well. So that right there just tells you the level that these guys have. They are able to play at that level and consistently at that level. So whether they can bring it out today is a totally different story. You'll find as well from the guys on Noble Esports, if Junie ever gets any kills and doesn't die early on, they'll generally play an absolutely fantastic game. Look for Junie to be a center of attention for the guys on Noble.
Absolutely. I'm looking for some predictive plucking as well. Neith, the backflip, as soon as she goes up in the air, you know where she is going to land. So it makes it very easy to just charge prey into her path, lacerate into where she's going to land. You have the Thor wall, you have the Isis Spirit Balls as well. There is so much counterplay potential onto Xenotronics on that backflip that they are going to have a little bit of an interesting time with that. Looking at the Awilix pickup on the other side, though, Puka Bear. Look at who has knockups or leaps on the team of Noble Esports. Odin. That's pretty much it. It all comes down to the knockups that they can provide from their own team. You have the Wukong. We may see some boars coming out. Typically, it's a tiger, but what could potentially be a 5-man knockup in a team, or set up a pull back by Awilix is going to be a pretty nice little deal. They also have the Wrath of Terra on Sylvanus to set that potential up. So it's not just down to the Moonlight Charge knocking somebody up tips from the side or behind. They have a little bit of play potential coming out from the rest of the team.
It's going to be interesting. Something else that I see being a crucial factor to this game, if it goes on later, is that Cloud Crusaders have a Neith Hunter, and both the Hunters in this game are opting to go for the Transcendence build path as well. Neith doesn't do it. She's got no steroid. She's so much centric on her abilities, and yeah, you mentioned it, Thor's up and looking for counter engage mid.
There's a lot of damage coming out of Too Many Apples. BK Hayes was not, however, able to actually contribute to that attempt on Too Many Apples' lives. Okay, look at this one. It's a rotation to the left side of the map. Harpies are already down. Typically, this is unusual play. Typically, when the Harpies go down, it's like, okay, everyone, back to farming. No kills for 3 more minutes. However, they were looking for something, which is good as far as the action is concerned. But we're coming up on almost a 5-minute mark. It's still 0-0 on the board. Only one real attempt at a fight so far. I mean, we saw a little bit of action in the dual lane, but it's kind of just the back and forth slap fight early on. It's like, oh yeah, you have Sylvanus, your health bars are full again. Well, we don't have that sustain and healing, so we can't really look to re-aggress constantly like you guys could potentially.
Yeah, but the amazing burst damage off a one-off, BK Hayes, Circle of Protections, Thor with the slam down the dunk, and Lou with the Petrify, they can counteract this healing by immediately bursting through your health bars. That's their strongest aspect, right? Think of Lurking in the Waters comboed with a Circle of Protections, comboed with Petrify, comboed with Thor slamming down, and a Bird Bomb from Cypher. The amount of damage that puts out is absolutely brutal.
One thing I'm going to be looking at as well, last week for week 6, Xenotronics was the North American MVP off of his Hunter play. One of those games he did play Neith. Something a lot of people kind of forget about is the potential of those broken weeds left behind Too Many Apples right now, caught out right side of this jungle. Path of Flame, some damage getting rained down as well. Here comes Spectre looking to help out in this fight. Animal Dawn not going to be shuttled in time. Adjust will fall, giving up first blood over to COD Crusaders.
Yeah, just a little bit of over-aggression in that jungle on the left-hand side of the map as well. COD Crusaders, you were just talking about Neith. Neith has map pressure from an 80 carry roll. The only other one that does, there's 2, Xbalanque and Apollo. They're the only other ones that can really do that. Meduisa is forced to try and win lane, get some pressure over on towards this left-hand side, but with multiple members of COD Crusaders on that right-hand side of the map, you know, there's no pressure that they can really have. And COD Crusaders made that work for them when they didn't have as many members on the right-hand side of the map as well.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out, because the team comps, they're unusual. There's not a lot of the high priority picks. I mean, look at the picks and band. Oh, excuse me, look at the band specifically. There's a lot of, I would say, higher priority picks. Animal Dawn, once again, left-hand side. Look at these Harpy Camps fight. Xenotronics front line going to backflip away from the Petrify. Collateral, on the other hand, not going to be so fortunate. He doesn't have the luxury of leaping backwards out of a fight.
Looking for another snipe and set up on towards Puka Bear, but they get the left-hand side camps, they get some setup, they have no lifesteal going on towards this Gold Fury, so contesting it's going to be a little bit of a nightmare, but at least they've still got Circle Protections online. We'll see how it goes out. I don't think they're going to do it in the end because look how far back Adjust is.
Not just even that Adjust is over there. It basically comes down to Too Many Apples, those bird bombs, the Agni bombs coming down. There's too much damage potential. There's not a large enough health bar on the side of Noble Esports to look for that push. BK Hayes gets caught mid lane by a pair of them plus the stun. This is going to be another interesting mid lane matchup as well. Isis, generally considered to be a bit more of an early game god, doesn't necessarily fall off late game like some other guys are considered to, but it's all about getting those early ranks online. The Spirit Ball, the Wing Gust, those early ranks just increase their power massively. Late game, still going to be a big factor. Circle Protection is such a useful utility ultimate plus damage ultimate. It just basically comes down to Agni. The damage he's going to be raining out over a much larger area compared to compared to the Isis is going to be a little bit better.
And the consistency of the damage, right? If people walk outside of the Circle Protections, it's doing next to nothing. Then it just turns into a heal for the rest of the team from Noble Esports, and they're forcing you to come into that zone. But what it does work incredibly well with is when Cypher drops his ultimate. The Circle Protections is basically identical in size to Ring of Spears, so if they can grab anyone down, they can layer it on the portion of the circle that they really want them on, and they can go for it that way, or, you know, if in doubt, just layer it over the entirety of the Ring of Spears. That's where you...
Into a pull, plus a World Wave from Xenotronics will secure that kill into BK Hayes. Looking for a little bit more damage back and forth as rotations do come out. Xenotronics now boxing back and forth with Just, who wants no part of the ensuing fight. The pull, not quite going to connect as Puka Bear secures that with the Moonlight Charge. Now it's COD Crusaders looking for the first goal through the game. Petrify, not going to find the stun.
Cypher's gonna blink in here and use the Ring of Spears to re-engage as it just comes slamming down looking for some damage. He did fight a little bit, but now Spectre is here as well. Both of our solo laners doing what they can. Look at the damage from Cypher on towards Xenotronics. Just one more auto. He's gonna find it, but Spectre also finds Lou, and that means that there's no Gold Fury potential coming through from Noble Esports, and finally the kill from Collateral off on towards Cypher's gonna secure the control over this one for COD Crusaders, and a 5-2 kill advantage at this stage of the map as well.
Yep, so that's the lead for those guys. The Gold Fury, however, look at all those broken weaves hanging around that.
I know! I was looking at those and going, wow, there's no way Noble can fight that.
No, Right? They are everywhere. Any one of those could be detonated into a lovely extra damage AoE Spirit Arrow. Last week, actually it was about around the Gold Fairy Pit, there was a broken weave hanging just about like center of the screen right behind that wall. Xenotronics detonated it, found 4 members of the enemy team, and then the rest of his team promptly just like disposed of them. It's like, oh, yeah, bomb, 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 you're dead, and everyone just died horribly. It was pretty nice. A lot of people forget that they can be as devastating as they are. Let's face it, it's a little wispy thing on the ground. It's, you know, you don't see them really use. It's like, you know, oh, backflip into a Spirit Arrow to clear the wave quickly. Haha, I can do that. It's not all that often. You think about it mid-fight and say, oh yeah, you know, we have to watch out and make sure we're not fighting any of these things, because that means Neith is going to be doing a lot more. It's a lot more crowd control. It's a lot more damage. And if we just don't fight there, we don't have to worry about it.
But the mobility and ability to set it up as a counter-engage combo from Xenotronics. Oh look, Junipera's flipped me. I'm just gonna backflip away and immediately detonate it with a Spirit Arrow. That's just, that combo is just brutal for changing fights in just an absolute instant. The problem for Neith is the build path that she's going down here with the Transcendence into an RC, into an Executioner. She doesn't get cooldown reduction. I really like the build path giving her a Yotun's Wrath for that burst damage, but because she's forced to be in Hunter and that in-hand damage, she can't do that. And that's the problem. Look at this.
Big play coming out. Collateral in a bad spot right now. The Moonlight, the pole, rather. Pugbear finds the kill to just. The counter engage is good. Junie finds that first kill to answer back. But BK Hayes looks like he might fall in her second. Spirit Ball into Xenotronics. Path of Flames. Too many apples coming out looking for the Flame Wave in just a second. In hand comes out. Rather, Pugbear gets that kill. Xenotronics finds the third. That was a messy follow-up.
What are you doing? Cypher, what are you doing? He bird bombs looking for some bonus damage, and now he's trying to fight in the middle of everything, but Cypher can't handle it. Lose! Gonna die underneath the tower as Spectre slams back down as well. And there's no way that Cypher really should have been trying to fight that one. No. Turns into a deicide for 1 kill on the side of Noble Esports.
That was off of Noble Esports initiation as well. That was a bit of a rough one. They went in, they went aggressive, they were trying to find a kill. They plucked back Collateral, but they didn't have the damage to bring him down. They dumped too much trying to kill him. He got the Wrath of Terror off. He didn't die himself. Was he the one who died? Who died? Was it Collateral? I believe it was Collateral.
To the match timer, it was Collateral.
Yeah. Pulling the timeline up, just double check. They got him, but he was able to get his ability off before he died, pop the Wisp, pop the Wrath of Terror, help his team out. The pull then came in, Gravity Surge then put someone out of position, the kill came on that, and then while the rest of COD Crusaders were rotating on in, they were looking to clean up. The Gold Fury then started on the back of that deicide, the respawns are up, but COD Crusaders is well aware of this going on, going to be backing off.
They bait out a teleport for Spectre though, and burn through half of his HP bar, but a great stun on towards Adjust is going to block him out. They get the block on towards Spectre, and he's so low, but Collateral will secure Junie to be the first kill of this one. The Circle Protections is in a really nice spot. What can they do here?
Yep, Thor in the back came down, didn't really have too much effect. Spectre survived that overall engagement, barely escaping with his life. Lou locking down PKs, finds a kill, trade back on him. Xenotronics gets the kill onto Lou, however. World Weaver gets the triple kill for Xenotronics, as once again, Cockatrices win another fight. Does Xenotronics have the lifesteal? Not quite yet. Gold Fury is going to be a little bit slower, but they have Collateral here to tank up and swap back and forth, plus some wisps for healing. Noble Esports
burst damage.
Yeah.
BK Haste though, he wants to fight this. He's not quite done with this one. He can catch out one of them. Xenotronics is incredibly low, looking for that Spirit Ball. Switches the tanking at least to Collateral, but COD Crusaders are going to secure it in the end. And another successful fight from them. Noble Esports are just going a little bit too aggressive at this point in the game.
It basically just comes down to where they have to follow up the fights as soon as the fights start up. Look at the AoE damage coming out from COD Crusaders. Every single person on the team has some big AoE damage ability. And Noble Esports actually engage. They have that Ring of Spears. They're looking to follow up on that. Circle Protection, it's a kind of half-range ability. Silence, it's a half-range ability. Adjust, he's going to be looking to dive shit into these fights. Yeah, they have Cypher to start up these Ring of Spears and set things up and get things rolling. But once things get rolling, they're just fighting in spots. They group up too much. The AoE starts raining down. The pulls are coming out. I believe every single fight so far, Puka Bear has found a Gravity Surge onto somebody and pulled them back into their team lineup. They've just been messy. Noble Esports need to just adjust the way they're starting these fights a little bit to make sure that once they initiate, they're not grouped up with too many apples just to rain down tons of fire.
Ooh, Spectre though, he's looking for Cypher. Cypher's incredibly low. He's going to get out of there. That's so lucky. But in the mid lane, the siege potential. They get a catch on towards collateral. Double CC. But now in comes Xenotronics. He was plucked in. He's forced to backflip out of there. He's so low at this point. And Cog Crusaders are going to have to retreat. Junipero is going to drop the ultimate. This could be a re-engage if they find him towards collateral. He's not mobile at all.
Yeah, they don't want to be too aggressive on this one. They realized the last couple fights did not go their way necessarily. They didn't go well at all for that matter. The problem is going to be, how can they look to get themselves back into this game right now? They're looking at a 5,000 gold deficit. The towers are slowly but surely getting whittled away. The gold fear was brought down by Cog Crusaders just a little while ago, so there's not even a case now we get a teamfight victory, and we can look for a big objective and secure some gold for ourselves. Blink Wrath of Terra as fight starts.
Collateral gonna tank out that tower and just gonna be forced to disengage, get stunned up by that Wrath. But look at the pick on towards too many apples, forced to path the flames out of here. Spectre's taking the tower, but they've got Junipero. Collateral's incredibly low. They'll burst him out here in just a second, and Thor's gonna slam down and make sure that they secure too many apples as well. They're looking for Spectre. They don't quite have it, and they're gonna disengage. But Noble Esports to trade 2 for 1 and a finally positive outcome for them.
There's the pull coming in onto Cypher. He's going to be down in the middle of this one. Can he get out? Lunge says yes, he can. As it just finds the kill on the Puka Bear. Very much needed kills on the board for Noble Esports in this one. That just came on the back of a, I was like properly initiated, but I think the biggest problem probably is the plucks coming out from Junie. That's Sobek. She's landing them constantly, but every time she does, the person she pulls back in is just immediately escaping.
Oh, Xenotronics is going to find Louis because he overstayed underneath that tower, and Spectre is just going to ensure that he dies and won't be able to secure this mid lane tower. It's still going to live by a sliver, but look at the damage that's coming out of Cog Crusaders. Let's take a quick look at the damage to players so far this game. Look at Xenotronics over Lou, but Lou is number 2. He's doing an incredible job on that Meduisa.
Yeah, to an extent the problem just becomes the way these fights are going. Look at the way Xenotronics is playing that Neith as well. It's a lot of AoE damage coming on out. What happens? Oh, he got pulled in. I'll backflip out and detonate my broken weave on the ground and do an AoE spirit arrow and you know, inflict more pain that way. Oh, you pulled Agni in? Well, guess what? Now there's a path of flames laying down the middle of the team fight where you guys want to be fighting. Oh, you pulled in Collateral? I'm just going to Wrath of Terra. You pulled in Puka Bear? That's probably the person you do want to pull in, but at the same time, she can say, oh, you know what, I'm going to attack Feather Step, and suddenly someone just took a whole load of damage. Spectre, same sort of thing. You pulled me in, well, guess what? I will turn into an ox, knock some people up, and Puka Bear can pull them in with their pluck. Or with Gravity Surge, rather. It's not a real easy game for Noble Esports to actually engage, because they have no real good target to pull into these fights. That kind of shuts down that aspect of the team fight. And, well, they still have the Ring of Spears coming off of Cypher. They have the Thor initiations. But it's rough, it's messy. They need to be very careful how they initiate these fights, because Cog Crusaders are looking to just, you start the fight, we'll respond to it and answer back and you know, just straight up and not worry about it.
Alright, something I'd like to point out about that player damage graph is that Lou is 1, 4, and 6. And he is doing so well on player damage, right? Xenotronics is on Neith. Neith has that early game portion. Meduisa starts to come online with the Viper shot later on. But he's an item behind. He's not finished Boots yet, right? And Medusa's Neith is already on getting towards the Executioner. She's already on the Balanced Blade portion of things. And Combat Boots, Boots 2, so far for Meduisa. And Lou is doing such an awesome job to stay within 2k damage of Xenotronics.
Absolutely.
That right there means that he is on fire this game. He's having a wonderful game. He just needs room to get more experience, more items online, and he is going to carry his team if anyone on this side is going to.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't go so far to say a wonderful game. This is definitely a rough game. He's playing well in the position they're in currently.
From the standard.
This is far from ideal for the team. It's 16-8 on the board. We're coming up on the 18-minute mark. Taking a look at the golden experience graph as well. It's 4.2k for Cog Crusaders, 6.2k experience. With the gold fear in their sights, Xenotronics was working on it. Junie actually gets caught on this one. Lockdown, charge prey, finally coming out to get out of that one safely. That's a pretty big pickup. They don't have any healing sustain in the team. Yeah, you have Circ Protection, but it's not a case of you're not going to drop that to heal somebody up. Gold Fury is started. Can they find the steal? Can they find the initiation? Doors up. They're going to look for it.
Junipero is going to be the focus though, and they did get the knock up and pluck back on towards her, and she'll be the first kill of this fight. Now it's Spectre in the backline that's really working for his team. Puka Bear was there with him, but Justice got collateral in the mid-ground. Lou is very low, and Puka Bear will secure that one. Next focus has got to be on towards Cypher from the guys on onto Noble Esports from the COD Crusaders, and they're going to sweep house and clean him up, get multiple kills for only the collateral in response.
Yeah, F5 was a little bit messy. Lou unfortunately got caught out in the front line and wasn't really able to successfully get out of the fight. And was brought down because of it. You're talking about how he was keeping his team kind of above water in this one. When he got picked off early, that was kind of the end of that fight, that engagement. Not much else they could have looked to do. Going forward, I mean, that's the second gold for you in the bank for COD Crusaders. Their gold lead just shot up to a little over 7,000. And, Noble Esports need to put a stop to this bleed sooner rather than later. The problem is just these initiations. They start off so strong in the fights, and as soon as everything is burnt, it's just kind of they crumble apart as COD Crusaders just look to start re-engaging and just picking Noble apart.
But that last fight, right, that was totally about COD Crusaders finding Junie and just removing her from being any point of contention in these fights. She hasn't got gold generation, though. Look at her. She's still on towards the Silver Talisman. She's not doing okay. She's not doing too bad, but she hasn't got that boots 3, the gold generation boots, to really give her any threat. And gold generation for her team, so she can't get that Heartwood Amulet online as early, and she's still having impact. The problem is, squishy. You don't have that Heartwood Amulet, you haven't got as much XP that you really wanted in the early game. That's the real problem for them. And when she gets picked off like that, and Cypher's not able to initiate, that's where their problem lies. They're relying 100% on Cypher to initiate these fights.
The reason behind not getting those boots at this point, though, she has that movement speed, a little bit of movement speed from those regular old boots. But she needs to make sure she's able to actually stay alive in the front line of these fights. When you use Charge Prey, you're putting yourself in the line of fire. So having that sovereignty completed earlier, having that Silver Talisman already online, kind of keeping toe-to-toe in that regards, is actually allowing Junipero to stay more relevant than she would otherwise be from behind. Because let's face it, if she completed those Talaria boots earlier on, she would have had that sovereignty online later. She wouldn't have had that online about the same time as Collateral would. Silver Talisman would not be built up quite yet. Looking at the gold, pull up the golden hand, may have had enough gold to actually get the regular old talisman, wouldn't have had a silver talisman, so Junie would actually be a lot more squishy with with the Talaria boots completed. So it's actually not picking up, is keeping her even.
Map trades, there's no one defending the mid lane right now from COD Crusaders, and Noble are just going to look to go for a base race with them. Ring of Spears is going to defend this tower on the right-hand side of the map for Cypher, but he gets stunned up. If he can stay alive, his team has already burned through that mid lane tower, and they're getting on towards the Phoenix. They can beat them to this one. They've got to disengage from COD Crusaders, but this is going to be too late. This is going to be first Phoenix.
Cypher delaying the back of the majority of the team. They're finally getting back to base. Left side, Spectre was able to head back.
This is gone.
It is. It's... Wait for it. There it goes. Disengage coming on out. Spectre's going to give chase right here, but has to be careful. He's going to try and stun out Junie. He's going to have a charge play to get away. In the back, Puka Bear could be brought down quickly. Worldweaver comes across. Xenotronics is not back to base yet either.
Uh-oh, Puka Bear got burst out, though, and that's going to be one for BK Hayes, but now they're going to grab him in and lock him in the middle of the team. He's trying to run away. He's got Wingust, but Collateral will finally secure him off, so it's going to be a one-for-one trade, but Phoenix goes in favor of Noble Esports. They block on towards Junipero, kill her off as well. So without any hogs, this is all down to Lou and his split-pushing power. He had to force Spectre to retreat from the left-hand side of the map, and force he did. But Noble's still got that Phoenix, and these minions in the mid lane, they're going to start crushing down on towards this Titan if they're not careful. It just wants to contest, but he's not quite going to be able to.
Yeah, he can hang nearby. There's the Wrath of the Gods coming on down. COD Crusader's going to take that. It was a beautiful play from Noble in that instance. It came down to the fact that they retreated back through the right side of the jungle.
If they retreated left, they would have been totally fine. Lou is going to get this tower before... No, Spectre gets the teleport in! Now he's going to run away from the side of Lou! And there's a Tiger there! He gets the Petrify off, so Lou is at least going to get the heck out of here. But he's bought his team some time and some gold back into this match! This is all about map positioning. COD Crusaders are going to have the power to get Phoenixes now, but they just lost 4 towers and a Phoenix to pick up 2 on a Fire Giant.
Yeah, it's rough. Like I said, basically that came down to Noble Esports retreating the wrong way through the jungle. If they went left, they not only would have avoided the kind of collapse coming in from COD Crusaders, but they also would have had Lou to group up with on the left-hand side. We saw that pick coming in. Puka Bear was brought down very quickly, but the other members coming in, health bars were low, mana bars were low, cooldowns were already spent for the most part. If Lou had been part of that fight, if they'd gone the left side of the jungle, that would have gone so differently.
Oh, grab on towards Just, was that? Yeah, he beads, he got the...
Yeah.
Has he got the Mage Eyes? He hasn't got Mage Eyes. That was a beads 3 he just burned.
I think what might have been going through Noble Esports' mind in that one is they might have just been collapsing straight for the Fire Giant and not actually going back to base. They had eyes on Spectre. I don't know if they actually knew where anybody else was at that time. Cyper had, I'm not sure who he actually had eyes on anymore, because they were all kind of scattered through the jungle. Some did recall, some didn't.
Xenotronics. He had eyes on Xeno. That was the only one he had eyes on.
That was the important one. Basically, Noble Esports needed to go to the left side of the jungle, group back up with blue, either start to look pushing those towers, so you know what, we can't leave that gold, the Fire Giant unattended, we have to go over there, head over there as a 5-man group, and look for the fight in that regard, because if nothing else, just force them off. Thor is up in the air, Spectre's attracted to the left lane right now, the Anvil Dawn does not connect for a stun, however.
This is a 5v4 at this moment. Lou got stunned up. If they can find a fighter, Just is burning through too many apples, and now it's back onto a 3v5. Collateral focuses on towards Junior, but Puka Bear gets stunned and forced into the beads. It just gets forced away, and Spectre's finally going to join them after taking down that left-hand tower. Noble needed to fight there. They get the block on towards it. Just, he's dead.
That's a lot of ultimates just for that one kill. They can turn this run right back now. This is the time to do it. Lou gets brought down, however, as well. As I'm mixing words, I'm talking backwards, but the fight does continue. Noble Esports is slowly but surely crumbling in this fight. Fire Giant buffs are online across the board for the COG Crusaders right now. Backline, Junior was looking for Puka Bear, not able to secure that one. Back in the front line, Cyper falls to the overhand, coming down from Spectre off that somersault cloud. As Junior in the far backline will finally be brought down as well. Hey, they were looking for the picks on that one, but as soon as Spectre got there and joined up that fight, it just kind of all crumbled.
Yeah, they had the split, they had the 3-on-5, and that's when they needed to fight. Thor went in too hard trying to chase out too many apples because he'd already used the Path of Flames, right? He was trying to kill him off, but it was a 1v1 in that aspect. It was even a 1v2 as Puka Bear started to rotate around that way. Then he rejoined the rest of the team, but what they should have been doing from the side of Noble is making a 5v3 fight. It just slams down at the stun!
Too many apples falls as well to BK Haste.
Wow, look at that! Wow!
I need to start keeping track of how many times a team starts to take down a Phoenix, and then everything goes horribly wrong on the back of it.
Wow, the Phoenix in the mid lane is going to respawn from COG Crusaders, but I don't think it'll last very long. Lou, though, is heading straight for this Gold Fury. That's their focus.
Yeah, this is some very much needed gold for these guys. Noble Esports, a couple early misplays this one, even a little bit of a mistake just a moment ago with that kind of fight around that left side mid-Harpy pit. But this
Go
fight...
for the Phoenix, you... God, what are they doing? Okay, so they're going to do Gold Fury. I'm sorry for interrupting, but...
They need the gold, that's basically what it comes down to. This is a safer option. They don't need to push forward to enemy lines. Spectre going to be zoned out quite effectively. He has the Wrath of the Gods, but it's on cooldown. No steal potential coming out from him in that instance. That's going to bring or keep the gold difference down to just under 9,000 gold. I can't do math still, apparently. 6,000 gold, or just over 6,000 numbers. I did so well avoiding it, but we got there, and I messed it up. It's back and forth,
level
though.
20. Xenotronics is level 20, and 19, 17, 17 from Puka Bear through to Collateral on the rest of the board. So experience maybe 10k, but it's going to mean less and less and less already. Yeah. No level 20s on the side of Noble Esports, and they're going to start hitting them. But what's about Adjust in that team? Oh man, he can carry those guys. Look at the power of Thor. Oh, that was crazy. That was absolutely crazy.
He's setting stuff up. He dropped down to the middle of that one, went for Puka Bear, dropped down to Tectonic Rift as well to make sure that too many apples could not Path of Flames back out of that one. He Path of Flames back into that wall. His escape was down. BK landed a Spirit Ball, popped Silence, and got that second kill as well. These are the kind of plays and steps I need to look for. It's all about changing that crowd control.
Through. Adjust is going to be the focus, but Wrath of Terror is down, and all he had to do was beads and throw his Mjolnir's attunement. Wrath of Terror is on cooldown for 80 seconds. COG Crusaders need that as one of their main engage spells.
This is going to be the point in time where this game goes one way or another. It's down to this Fire Giant right here. The way these fights have been going, if Noble Esports can find this victory, that mid Phoenix is down already, left side Phoenix is available. Respawns are just long enough as well that if one of these teams wins a decisive victory, they could look to just rush down the Titan outright. It would be a close call, but it's a possibility right now. It all comes down to how quickly they clean these fights up.
And where the minion waves are. Because if they get minion waves to secure a Phoenix and then help them tank up a Titan, they can't go Phoenix to Titan without minions. They can go Phoenix, that's it. Or they could go Fire Giant. Fire Giant's going to 100% be the call in that case.
Noble Esports backing off that Fire Giant just a little bit. You see Cockches immediately head up and look to gain and establish position control over this Fire Giant pit. And the standoff is on. There's the Blinkbringer Spears coming down, cause Xenotronics and Cloud. Xenotronics leaps back over that wall. Out to safety. Backline, though. Thor's here. Three-man Tectonic Rift, rather, coming on down. Rain Fire as well. Doing work. There's the pull. Cyber gets pulled in this one. Just found around the backline.
But he's doing what he can. He's the tank. He's the one that they want to be tanking it up. Spectre's going for him. He's not going for a carry, and that's crucial. Thor is dealing with, man, that Puka Bear as best he can, but look at that. Back online is the Wrath of Terror, and it's going to be the kill-off on towards Junipero. Because of it, it came out just in the nick of time. But now the World Weaver is online, and whoever they really want to go for is their call from the side of Cold Crusaders. Noble Esports overextend it, and they lose the fight.
It was messy. A big part of that was the bombs coming down from Agni in that fight. The blink grab, not going to connect. Cypher will live to fight another day. Lou looking for a little poke. Has to be careful.
Lou, that was a bad idea. Showing them where you are, not a good idea. You're a hunter, buddy.
He was on
you
a
need
ward,
support.
so they knew he was kind of there anyway. But Phoenix now under threat right side. They could look to find a fight. Cypher with the Ring of Spears once again found collateral. That is going to be a very dead Sylvanus, but not before Too Many Apples finds a kill of his own.
And now Spectre's going to come in and turn this one back around and to focus on towards BK Haste. He did have the Aegis, but not for much longer. Magic Cudgel to secure that one. They turn on towards Spectre, though. He's so low. Is he going to get any? He's got the ultimate. They can see him up there, and they get the block on towards Puka Bear, and they lock him in place with the Lacerate, but they don't quite get it. The Phoenix has already fallen, and the next focus, what's it going to be?
Spectre is an escape artist as once again he survives with just a sliver of health. Junie finds that kill into Puka Bear. They lost to Phoenix, but they staved off defeat once again. This could... they're going to go back to base. They don't want to overstay their welcome. This might be the smarter call of the two. They could have potentially looked to rush in the Fire Giant, but they don't want... you need that Wrath of the Gods available. Yes, Spectre has it, but they don't want to find themselves in a spot where we start the Fire Giant and someone comes over and we delay ourselves back to base and give Noble Esports potential to sneak it in while they force us to base afterwards. So, probably the safer call from Cog.
I'm really impressed by. Noble are playing so good from behind and under pressure. Imagine if they were in front in this game. They would have had it in the bag by now. Alright, but they're under pressure, right? This is the match that secures their future. If they win this one, they still have a chance to make it into those top two spots of their group. If they lose this one, it's down to pure luck from that point on. It's out of their hands. They have to win two games. Essentially.
There's no way back into this one. Unless they lose this, they're out. That's just the way the numbers work out. Because Resist are already sitting 3-1. So Noble could at best finish then 2-4. So they need to win this game. It's still going to be a little bit out of their hands because Resist Gaming still needs to lose their other two remaining games. But it's all down to this one for Noble Esports to keep their hopes alive. And right now, they're showing they do not want to let this one go easy. They're trying to claw their way back any possible little spot they can find to grab a hold onto. They're not letting go of.
World Weaver's being channeled up. The focus goes on towards BK Haste. He's got the beads, but he's going to get burst out. He didn't even have the Silica protections online. And Justice going backside, but that's a wrong move because they've been caught out. Now the Ring of Spears locks multiple members in. Xenotronics to backflip out of there. Spectre's going to do what he can, and he kills off a Just. Noble are in trouble.
That is just about to be a deicide. It's only Cypher left standing on this one. They're looking to give chase. Health bars are low, but Cypher 1v5, not going to be able to do much in this situation. Even if he's managed to get back to base, it would still have been a 1v5. Xenotronic's going to find and secure the deicide. Collateral escorting that minion wave down the right-hand side of the map. Mid lane, they're not even worrying about the Phoenixes right now. They're looking to close this game out and lock themselves in to a first place for the moment, at least. Still some more games to play today, but they're looking to lock themselves in and secure themselves a spot going forward into the grand finals next week. And as the Titan is about to fall, well, Collateral, unfortunately, will fall to the Titan. Titan gets one in, 1-for-1 for the Titan this game, but nevertheless, COG Crusaders going to take victory over Noble Esports, who unfortunately for them will be knocked out of further contention for the Summer Challenger Cup.
Oh, but what a way. Like, they come out here and gave it their all. They did not get knocked out in any sort of circumstances. Last week, they just had an off week, and it was a really, really horrible week to have an off week. This week, they come out, play their hearts out, miss out by a sliver, and they lose everything. You have one off week, and it can throw you so bad, and unfortunately for them, it had to be last week, going 0-3, wrong week to do it.
Yeah. It's a rough one, guys. So COG Crusaders will move themselves up to 4-0 so far for Group B. Still 2 games left to play for the week. With that, it's the rest of standings. Currently, Resist Gaming sitting 3-1, Torch 1-3 so far. So there's still one potential tie situation coming in with Resist Gaming, where Torch could potentially tie that one up. But Resist, if they win one more game going forward, will lock themselves in. It all comes down then to just seeding for first and second for Group B. So we'll have another game for you guys here in just a moment, guys. Stick around, enjoy the music. We'll be back here in just a few.